Hi guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We meet again for the lab class for week 3. So today I would like to introduce another chapter, another topic which is computer program and programming language. It is all the roughly about the programming language. So lesson outcome. So for the today topic, the outcome that you should get is the first overview of computer program and programming language. Second programming language paradigm, we have fourth paradigm which is imperative, object-oriented, functional paradigm and logic paradigm. And next, the third outcome that you should get is a programming application domain. We have the scientific application for the artificial intelligence, business application, system programming and also the web software. So next, overview of the computer program and programming language. Saya rasa ada yang dah pernah belajar programming language, for example like C++, ada yang pernah belajar C, C# and so on. So this is the overview of the all type of the programming language, or we call it as the computer program. Okay, so first is computer program. So definition of the computer program is a computer program is a set of instructions that the computer need to follow to process the data into information. So when we talk about the computer program, sebenarnya nama lain dia adalah software or application. So software yang awak selalu guna tu contohnya macam WhatsApp and semua. So di belakang application tu dia menggunakan set of instruction. When we talk about the set of instruction, is all about the programming. Okay, programming language. Tak kisahlah dia create computer program tu menggunakan bahasa apa, C++ ke, C# ke, semua tu, itu semua dikenali sebagai instruction. So apa itu computer program? Computer program ni digunakan untuk komputer. Okay, komputer perlukan computer program untuk dia ikut supaya dia boleh proses data into information. So they tell the computer what action you want the computer to perform. The order those actions should happen in the computer program. So inilah gunanya komputer program. Kalau tak ada komputer program, macam mana komputer tu tahu nak open sistem, bila kita klik tu dia cari benda tu, itu semua bergantung kepada komputer program. Instruction to make sure computer knows what they need to do. Okay, computer need to do. Okay, so as you can see, remember right, for the information system processing cycle, we have the three process, right? So we have input, process and output. So element of a computer program, it have four. Okay, first we have the input. So remember, whatever data that is insert into computer using input devices. Ingat, input akan masuk data, bukan information. Input masuk data. Apa itu data? Ingat balik dekat topik 2 saya dah ajar tu hari. So untuk masukkan data ke dalam komputer, kita memerlukan input devices. So contohnya kita ada mouse, keyboard, okay, kamera, scanner and so on. Okay, lepas dah dimasukkan menggunakan input devices, we need process the data. So siapa yang process the data? Of course lah CPU, Central Processing Unit. Remember right, CPU divide by 2, you have the CU and apa? ALU. Apa itu CU, apa tu ALU? You kena ingat balik dekat topik 1. Okay, so CPU convert input data into information. So CPU ni akan proses. So selepas CPU proses, dia akan hantar untuk simpan ataupun dia akan keluarkan apa? Bila dia convey something towards the user, apa dia? Information. So dia akan terbelah dua lah, sama ada kalau user suruh simpan, so dia akan pergi ke storage. Store the data or information for future use permanently or temporary. Okay, contohnya hard disk or memory. Tapi kalau user tu nak tengok dia punya output, dia akan pancarkan kat mana? Dekat output di device. So bila sebut pasal output device, you kena ingat monitor. Okay, benda yang kita dapat baca. Okay, benda yang kita dapat tengok hasilnya after kita masuk data. So output ni maksudnya generate the useful information using output devices. Remember what is output devices? Output devices adalah monitor. Selain monitor apa dia? Selain monitor kita ada apa? Projector tu pun juga boleh dikenali sebagai output devices. Printer juga sebagai output devices. Speaker pun sama. Itulah dia. So ingat, element of computer program kita ada 4. Kalau dia kata information system processing cycle ada 3. So you kena ingat semua benda ni. Okay. So programming language, apa pula programming language ni guys? A programming language is a system of sign used to communicate a task or algorithm to a computer causing the task to be performed. Inilah instruction dia, inilah dia programming language. Untuk kita supaya kita manusia, user boleh communicate dengan komputer, we need a programming language. And also computer also need a programming language untuk dia tahu apa task yang dia kena buat. The task to be performed is called computation. Okay, one by one task yang dia buat itu kita kenal sebagai computation, which follow absolutely precise and unambiguous rule. Okay, remember bila you nak jadi seorang programmer, sila elakkan sifat unambiguous. Apa maksud unambiguous ni? Unambiguous ni maksud dia macam tidak, orang kata yang selalu kita gunalah, dia macam betul ke betul kot, yang ada kod kat belakang tu, unambiguous ni. Dia macam tak sure benda tu macam tak. In coding, in a programming language, all kind of instruction that you code mesti dia precise. Okay, maksudnya di akhir coding awak apa hasil yang awak dapat. So dia tak boleh unambiguous. Kalau saya letak coding ni, okey kot, jalan kot, boleh kot dia nak buat pengiraan penambahan, no. In coding, you kena precise dia punya action. Apa hasil yang terakhir. Kalau problem awak nak cari penambahan 2 nombor, maksudnya outputnya mestilah keluarkan penambahan, hasil penambahan 2 nombor itu. Bukan unambiguous rules. No, itu salah. Okay. Next, content set of instruction, data and rules that are used to construct a program. Okay, siapa dah buat CSC 126 dia tahulah benda-benda ni. Ada instruction tu adalah syntax kita. Data tu adalah variable tu lah, memory, dan juga rules dia. Pas satu-satu. Okay, itu dia. So, computation, machine readability and human readability. Apa maksud computation? Remember, computation is any process that can be carried out by a computer. Apa proses yang CPU buat itu kita kenal sebagai computation. Processing tu kita kenal dia sebagai proses computation. Contoh kita ada masalah untuk buat pengiraan penambahan 2 nombor. So we need a data, 2 nombor, data 2 nombor. Bila user masukkan nombor 1, nombor 2, prosesnya adalah penambahan, right? So nanti CPU akan buat proses penambahan itu. Proses itu kita kenal sebagai computation. Computation include all kind of computer operation including data manipulation, text processing and information storage and retrieval. Okay, ini contoh-contoh dia. Machine readability apa pula? So for a language to be machine readability, it must have simple enough structure to allow for efficient translation. Mesti ada compiler. Pernah dengar kan? Kalau awak dah belajar 1-2C, awak mesti pernah dengar compiler. Compiler ni adalah orang tengah dia untuk translatekan bahasa manusia kepada bahasa komputer, machine language. So machine readability is ensured by restricting the structure of the programming language to context-free languages. Okay, ini machine readability. Make sure you buat program tu, pastikan machine boleh baca komputer awak lah. Okay, next is human readability. Maksudnya, it requires that a programming language provide abstraction of the action of computer that are easy to understand, even by person not completely familiar with the underlying detail of the machine. Ini dia. Ini adalah high level language lah, human readability, di mana programming language tend to resemble natural language. Maksudnya, kalau kita buat C++ tu, kita tak perlulah ingat kod-kod dia. Okay, kita perlu tahu see out. See out tu kan bahasa manusia, see out. Bila kita nampak see out, we know that see out, oh nak keluarkan something. See in, nak masukkan. Itu nampak tak? Natural resemble natural languages. Itu kita kenal dia sebagai human readability. Okay, so next. So basically there are 3 levels of programming language. We have the machine language, we have the low level language, we have the high level language. For the machine language, consists of individual instructions that will execute by the CPU one at a time. So when we talk about the machine language, it's all about the binary code 0 and 1. Since machine or computer only know on and off. Dia tahu itu je, 0 and 1. Okay, itu yang dia tahu. So next, low level language, assembly language pula. Dia still lagi low level language. Why? Because assembly language is designed for a specific family of processor. Different processor group of family has different assembly language. Consists of simply instruction directly related to machine language. Instruction 1 for 1 and are assembled into the machine language. Machine or computer only know on and off. So untuk assembly language pun dia ada dia punya orang tengah dia lah. Nama dia assembler. So assembler ni juga adalah macam compiler lah, tapi assembler ni khas untuk assembly language, di mana even though assembly language still in the low level language, but dia punya language tu ada bahasa kita juga, alphabet dia. So that's why we need the assembler to convert the assembly language into the machine language. Lagi sekali disebut kat sini, machine or computer only know on and off. So next we have the high level language. So bila sebut high level language is the human readability, means that it use the natural language to code the instruction. So for example, high level language we have the C, C++, Java and the VB. Okay, Visual Basic. Designed to eliminate the technicalities of a particular computer. Statement compiled in a high-level language typically generate many low-level instruction. Machine computer only know on and off. So orang tengah for the high-level language, we call it as the compiler. So compiler itu akan convertkan semua sinteks yang buat itu kepada apa? Machine language. Okay? So next, this is the example of the machine language. The representation of the computer program which is actually read and understood by the computer. A program in machine code consists of sequence of machine instruction. Machine instruction are in binary code. Ingat, in binary code, instruction specify operation and memory cell involved in the operation. Ini semua adalah contoh machine language. The sequence of the bit. Kita kenal dia sebagai binary code. Okay, binary code bukan binary system. Kalau binary system dua je. Binary code ni adalah combination of the bit. Okay. So next is assembly language, a symbolic representation of the machine language of the specific processor. It's converted to machine code by an assembler. Ingat, orang tengah kepada assembly language untuk changekan assembly language ni kepada bahasa machine language. Orang tengah dia adalah assembler. Okay, usually each line of assembly code produce one machine instruction one-to-one correspondence. And nanti awak SEM 2 awak akan belajar pasal assembly language. Satu subjek tu pasal assembly language saja. Kat situ awak akan tahu pasal number system and so on. Okay, lagi mendalam. Untuk programming in assembly language is low and error prone, but it's more efficient in terms of hardware performance. Selalunya hardware performance ni menggunakan language assembly language. Mnemonic representation of the instruction and data, example load, price, add text, store, cost. Okay, kat mana awak nampak benda ni? Kalau you buka command prompt, okay, command prompt tu itu adalah contoh assembly language untuk buka sistem kita, nak hack ke apa semua nak guna command prompt. Okay. Okay, so next is high level language. When we thought about the high level language is the human language. Okay, a programming language which use statement consisting of the English like. When we talk about the English like, dia adalah alphabet tu lah A, B, C, bahasa manusia. Keywords such as for, print, or, if, etc. See out, see in, and so on. Each statement corresponds to several machine language instruction, one to many correspondence. Much easier to program than in assembly language. Assembly language tu, kenapa kita gelar dia sebagai low level lagi language? Sebab kita kena ingat juga. Kita kena ingat setiap kod-kod dia. Tapi untuk high level language, kita kalau kita faham sintak dia CL, CN semua, tak ada masalah. Kita hanya ingat sintaks saja. Okay, semua kod untuk hello world itu kan bahasa manusia. Okay, data are reference using descriptive name. Descriptive name ingat untuk buat memory mesti ada nama dia. Okay, untuk buat memory dalam kita punya coding mesti ada nama dia, specific identifier dia. Semua tu kat 1 to C. Okay, operation can be described using familiar symbols. Contohnya C out, C in, lepas tu ada, okay saya beri contoh lah. Okay, family symbol, C out macam mana? Dia ke sini. C in macam mana? Ke sini. Ini semua adalah syntax. So kalau macam ni, cost sama dengan price plus tax. Ini semua bahasa manusia. This is we known as the variable memory of the data. Kan saya nak ajar 1 to 6 pula. No. Okay. So next is programming language paradigm. Okay. Programming paradigm, a model for a class of programming language that share a common characteristic and its differences. Okay, so ingat common programming paradigm kita ada 4 guys. Kita ada imperative, di mana imperative paradigm ni selalunya digunakan untuk bahasa dahulu kala lah. Okay, the sequential execution of instruction, the use of variable representing the memory location. The use of assignment to change the value of variable. Okay, imperative paradigm. Jadi kita akan tengoklah dia punya contoh siapa yang menggunakan imperative paradigm. Object oriented paradigm. When we talk about the object oriented, it's more focused on the object in the real world. Allow programmer to write reusable code that operates in a way that mimic the behavior of the object in the real world. Object in the real world maksudnya siapa yang menggunakan sistem itu. Student, teacher, dia focus more on that. Okay, the functional programming selalunya based on the abstract notation of function as studied in the lambda calculus. Lambda calculus lah. Your punya calculus yang banyak function tu, itu kita kenali sebagai functional paradigm. And the last one is the logic paradigm based on symbolic logic, focus on logic. Okay, first imperative paradigm describe how the computer should achieve a solution. Fokus untuk imperative paradigm ni, dia punya program tu should achieve a solution, mesti sampai the output tu. Example of language adalah C, Pascal, Fortran, Algo 60 and COBOL. Okay, ini semua adalah bahasa dululah untuk komputer punya program yang lama. C, Pascal, Fortran. Key feature dia adalah store memory, mutable variable, sequencing, selection and iteration, and also it have the pointers. Ni dalam punya lah. Okay, so ini contoh dia. Ini tak salah saya, ini bahasa C. Okay, dia nampak macam C++. Ini adalah ibu kepada C++ lah. C, ini adalah C. Integer main, integer still ada memory juga. Ini persamaan diorang. Okay, ini persamaan diorang. Tapi kalau untuk C, dia menggunakan scanf. Tapi kalau untuk C++, dia menggunakan cin untuk input. Ini banyak lagi lah dia punya cara dia. Okay. So next, object oriented paradigm. This is very famous lah. Ini punya syllabus lah. You akan belajar C++ dan juga Java. Okay, based on imperative or procedure style with added data and code abstraction and encapsulation. Dia adalah code abstraction, added the data, boleh tambah-tambah data. Encapsulation tu dia, encapsulate tahu tak? Dia hiding the data, encapsulation the data. Okay, itu jenis-jenis karakteristik of object oriented paradigm. A revolutionary concept that changed the rule in a computer program development. Dia upgrade sikit daripada imperative tadi. OOP is organized around object rather than action, data rather than Logik. Dia memikirkan objek itu. Contohnya sistem student. So siapa akan gunakan sistem student tu? Of course the objek adalah student. Bila student, apa data yang student akan masukkan, nama dan semua. Dia fokus on tu. So example of language dia adalah Smalltalk, C++ and Java for the object oriented paradigm. C++ awak belajar sem ni tu tak? Sem depan awak akan belajar Java. Okay, so key feature dia adalah dia menggunakan abstraction, encapsulation, hiding the data, inheritance and polymorphism. Okay, tapi untuk C++, untuk awak punya baru-baru ni you takkan belajar lah pasal abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance dan polymorphism. Empat ni awak akan belajar dekat Java. Untuk C++, untuk SEM 1 hanyalah pengenalan saja. Very simple. Okay. Okay, inilah contoh object oriented paradigm punya coding. Okay, nampak? Input java.io, kalau dalam C++ kita guna cin, tapi dekat dalam cin cout, dekat dalam Java you gunakan system.out.println for the cout and so on. Ini contoh lah. Nanti awak belajar SEM 2 lagi mendalam. Okay? So logic paradigm, logic, bila sebut logic is a declarative and relational style of programming. Dia macam orang kata statistik sikit lah, logic paradigm. Example of language is Prolog. Okay, concept is based on Horn clause. Dia dalam clauses tu. Based on fact and rule known as clauses. Dia based on logic lah. Kalau ini, dapat yang ini. Tu maksud dia. Clause may contain logic variable which take any value necessary to make the fact or the left side of the rule match a goal. Pastikan dia akan try banyak benda lah. Dia macam orang kata macam selection. Kalau ni tak boleh dia pergi sini. Dia try and error, fake based on the logic. Okay. So sampai lah dia jumpa goal dia. Okay, key feature dia no mutable variable. No mutable, tak ada variables. Statement are logical predicate or assertion. Every statement can either be succeed or fail. Dia try and error. Benda ni dia try and error. Benda ni based on logic. Kalau kena logic dia, betul lah macam tu. Few explicit contours contra recursion. Berulang, recursion. Okay, inilah contoh Prolog guys. Okay, speed Ford dia masukkan nilai ni 100 ke dalam Ford untuk speed. Lepas tu kat bawah ni dia akan buat lah. Kalau speed X apa? Speed. Time X time. Y is speed darab time. Okay, dia akan try semua ni. Nilai-nilai ni one by one. Yang mana yang kena dengan dia. Gitu. Okay. Next is functional paradigm based on the concept of function in mathematical. Okay. Bila sebut function ni is always about the mathematics. Based on lambda calculus yang you favorite sangat pre-calculus SEM ni. Ramai kata stress. So good luck guys. Okay. So program written are compact but run slowly and require a lot of memory. Kenapa nak a lot of memory? Sebab banyak sangat function dalam calculus. Example of language Haskell, ML, Lisp and Scheme. Ni tak belajar lah. Untuk awak calculus guna ni dia. Calculator scientific. Okay, so key feature dia no mutable variable. Everything is an expression. Bila sebut pasal calculus semuanya expression. Okay, so everything is a function. Yang ada integrated function, semua function. Tak ada iteration, pengulangan recursive. Okay. So nampak tak? Define factorial and factorial yang tanda seru tu. If less than or equal n1, 1 darab n factorial n1 apa benda ni. Ini matematik Buat belajar calculus awak ingatlah benda-benda ni. Kalau awak nak lebih mendalam pasal ni, nak guna dia punya language ni, awak pergi masuk mathematical punya degree nanti. Okay, kalau you nak. Okay, so next is programming application domains. Bila sebut pasal domains ni macam area lah, kat mana orang kata programming application ni digunakan, area mana, kat sektor mana. Tu maksud domain. So kita ada banyak sini coding kan. Nampak? Kalau Fortran more to the scientific computation, COBOL more business application, C++ system programming, sistem kita, Simulation for the Java, Simula user interface, Perl web application, compiler construction, ML lib, symbolic computation, most to mathematics libs. Okay, functional paradigm. Okay, so ini domain-domain dia lah. Selalunya bila sebut scientific application, NASA Biotech. So dia punya sistem dia menggunakan Fortran punya language. For the business application, more on the COBOL banking. Artificial intelligence lives of Prolog, manufacturing robotic, artificial system programming, PL, more as Bliss extended Algo C operating system, and web software JavaScript PHP for the internet application. So Prolog tadi more on logic. Kenapa sesuai untuk manufacturing robotic? Sebab robotik semua pasal logik lagi-lagi AI. Okay, semua pasal logik. Pergerakan dia tu mesti logik, no ambiguous. Okay, so scientific application, John Baker's team at IBM develop Fortran. Ingat siapa develop Fortran? IBM. For formula translator. So jadilah Fortran. In 1955 and 1957. Kata Fortran ni adalah bahasa komputer zaman dulu lah. Okay, while Fortran was designed for numerical computation, it include control structure, condition and input or output. So Fortran popularity led to the Fortran 2 in 1958, Fortran 4 in 1962, leading to its standardization in 1960 with revised standard coming out in 1977 and 1990. Okay, ni sejarah dia lah. Okay. So for the business application, commercial data processing was one of the earliest commercial application of computer, yang komputer awal lah. Okay, Grace Murray Hopper at Univac developed Flowmatic and the English language for business application. So dia menggunakan COBOL. Okay, the US Defense Department sponsored the effort to develop the COBOL. Nama panjang dia adalah Common Business Oriented Language, which was standardized in 1960, revised in 1961 and 1962, re-standard in 1968, 1974 and 1984. Okay, so COBOL is more on the business ketika itulah. Commercial application of computer. So AI adalah zaman yang kita sekarang semuanya pasal AI, pasal robotik robotic manufacturing. Bila sebut manufacturing, sekarang pun dah semua menggunakan robotik. Artificial intelligence deal with the emulating human style reasoning on a computer. Semua pasal human. Sebab robot tu kan nak bergerak tu kan. Semua dia ambil logiknya daripada human style. This application usually involves symbolic computation where most of the symbol are named and not a noun. Nama dia menggunakan nama dia takkan guna numbers, nama. The most common data structure is the list, not the matrix or array as in scientific computing, and not the record as in the business computing. No. Data structure dia adalah list by one by one. Dia punya algorithm dia by list. Okay, lepas ni buat apa, lepas ni buat apa. Kalau nak gerak ni so AI ni, siapa yang masuk AI, coding ni memang dahsyat dahsyat sangat. Dia adalah combination of apa combination of biology, combination of mathematics, combination of the statistics and so on. Okay, saya dulu belajar sikit je pun dah pening dengan coding dia. Okay, the most common data structure ni saya dah terangkan. Artificial intelligence require more flexibility than other programming domains. Flexibility lah sebab kita nak wujudkan robot tu macam manusia. Pergerakan dia tu, okay, semua menggunakan instruction list one by one. Okay, so ini sejarah dia. Siapa yang buat AI ni, kita tengok. So the first AI language YIPL, International Processing Language, developed by the RAND Corporation, is low level design led to the limited use. Itulah. Dia tak beritahu tarikh bila. Okay, John McCarthy of MIT developed LISP for the IBM 704, which eventually lead to the scheme and common LISP. LISP is recursion-oriented list processing language that facilitate game playing program. Okay, masa ni dia more for the game playing program lah, for the AI. Tahu tak game AI tu macam mana? Okay, bila you pakai tu kan, You bagai Google tu, so you nampak benda tu seolah-olah depan mata you. Itu salah satu contoh AI. Okay, Yaunch of MIT developed Comet, a string processing language which was followed by AT&T Snowball. Prolog was developed by the Kolmogorov, Russell and Kowalski based on predicate calculus and mathematical logic. Nampak tak? Pasal logik kan Prolog. Okay, inilah contoh-contoh artificial intelligence punya language. Okay guys, okay, ingat artificial intelligence language more on the logic language. Okay, so sila scan this QR code for today lab classes. Okay, dah scan, cepat-cepat scan. Okay, dah scan. Okay, next is system programming. System programming assembly language were used for very long time as programming because of its power and efficiency. CPLB, CPLC and C++ were later developed for the purpose. Okay, untuk system programming. Other language for system programming include PL/I, Bliss and Extended Algol. Okay, bila sebut system programming is more on the operating system. Operating system tu tahu tak apa dia? Kau tak tahu pelik lah awak ni. So operating system tu maksudnya Windows kita lah. So Windows ni belakang dia adalah instruction. So itu bahasa-bahasa yang digunakan untuk buat operating system. So web software, kalau sebut web software itu adalah website kita. Jangan awak ingat semua benda tu adalah itu. Tak, di belakangnya adalah coding, bahasa programming language. Okay, so for the web software, diverse collection of language, markup HTML. Siapa dulu suka guna blog, dia pernah lah tengok HTML ni. So used for annotating a document in a manner that can be distinguished from the text. Okay, HTML. HTML ni dia macam ni tau. Kod dia. Okay, lepas tu ada apa lagi tah? Saya pun dalam ni tulislah body dia. So nak keluarkan apa content dia. Hello world. Ini semua nanti awak belajar lah. Sem 5 tak salah saya. Okay. Lepas tu tutup body. Seronok buat ni. Test. Okay, scripting PHP, the language that enable the script to run this command and typically include control structures such as if, then, else and while do. For the HTML is more on the content for the website. Scripting PHP is more on the control. Contohnya macam button submit. When you click the button submit ni, di belakang ni menggunakan PHP language. Okay, ini Allah. Okay, inilah dia language yang untuk buat submit tu. Dia tekan submit, dia nak pergi mana. Itu maksud dia. Okay, so general purpose example Java juga can be used for wide range of programming job. Ramai guna Java ni, famous juga untuk programming job sekarang. Lagi-lagi buat sistem-sistem sekarang kadang pun ada web software menggunakan Java. Contoh mobile apps pun ada juga menggunakan Java, ikut company tu. Okay, so that's all for today class guys. So I hope that you are understand all my explanation. Actually ini pasal programming language lah, pasal sejarah, pasal COBOL and so on. So if you have any question, you can ask me in Telegram. So that's all guys. So please read back my topic 1, topic 2 and also today topic, because next week you have what? Later I will tell you. Okay guys, bye. Assalamualaikum.